Post-match analysis for Chat with Chaps, where it's just finished in Wales. Cardiff 1, Millwall 0. The most Millwall thing ever, innit? Just, you think we turned a corner, you think we're playing some really good stuff, and we put in by far and away our worst league performance of the season against a side. And for Cardiff fans, listen to this. Look, at the end of the day, you won the game, fair play, but a really poor Cardiff side. They were awful. We were just worse. A shocking performance, a leggy performance, and one that I'm glad I certainly didn't go. So the 280 odd that did, fair play to you. As you can tell, I'm not in my normal area. I'm away for work, so this is going to be a quick one. And to be honest with you, after that result and performance, I think that's all you're going to want. So, look, I think a lot can be made about the team that started, because in hindsight, you look at it and we was quite leggy. But when you are playing as well as we did on Saturday, and there isn't a lot of players to change it to, I felt we looked very leggy in the centre of the park. But ultimately, you can only bring in a kid in Daniel Kelly or Alfie Massey. And I thought we looked leggy, sort of Duncan Watmore and George Honeyman. But again, Aziz couldn't be really fully fit, and Imaku not available. So again, it's hard to criticise the lineup, I think. By the way, Q, I can't wait just to see everyone completely slagging off Neil Harris, that all the people that were praising him at the weekend. So I'm waiting for all of that. But look, let's get into it. Like I said, this is going to be a bit of a shorter one. I'm to stand up because I don't even know where to sit in this place, but it is what it is. You're probably going to say that chair over there, but you can't, because the lighting behind it means you can't see my face. And I know that's what you're really here for. So, so the lineup, I'm not going to show my graphic for those of you watching on YouTube, but the lineup was the same, the exact same that's played the last few games, a very settled lineup. Lucas Jensen in goal, back four of Ryan Leonard, Javed Tanganga, Jake Cooper with the armband, Joe Bryan, Denor, Saville in the middle of the park, Esse, Honeyman, Mr. Watmore, and then Macaulay Langstaff up top. Then, look, this is a Cardiff side that are very close to being the worst side ever in the Championship after 7 games. Hadn't won a game, don't have a manager, and have just looked, piss poor all season. So, of course, the writing was on the wall. But let's just sort of break it down. So I felt that the first, I think we had the ball in the net very, very quickly. Goal disallowed for offside. They have a half chance on 9 minutes with Robinson. Sort of Joe Bryan got caught outside by Colwell. Colwell, good player. He's at times he can be a bit of a luxury player, but in games like tonight, he thrives. And he was a good player. He was one of the difference makers for sure. So they sort of tested us then. But then I felt we sort of dominated from then on in till they scored their goal. Well, certainly for the first sort of 30 minutes. We had 2 free kicks in good succession. One, which was really well worked. You could tell it was off the training ground. Joe Bryan sort of played it short. It then worked its way back to Joe Bryan, cut it across face of goal, which was really close. And then another really good ball in from Joe Bryan on 14. And Cooper and Esse just left it to each other, which was really poor. Then we had our first proper chance on 17 minutes where Esse did really, really, really well. He was brilliant tonight, by the way. Romain Esse is probably the only outfield player to come out with any credit tonight, which I just think is bonkers saying that after the performance on Saturday. It's just typical bipolar Millwall, isn't it? But a good shot. Unfortunately, it was straight down the keeper's throat. Anywhere else probably would have caused him more of a problem. We had a few corners. Pressure was starting to build on 20 minutes. And I felt that was when we were on top. We were playing some of the sort of similar patterns of play that we've been playing for much of the season. Then Jensen makes a good save on 26 minutes. It was a really good save because he took a big deflection off of Javed Tanganga. Nothing much happened until they then scored their goal on 38 minutes, which is just poor. It's so basic. Perry and G, one of the smallest players on the pitch, should not be scoring a header from a corner. And I'm sorry to say, but I think it was Joe Bryan's man. I haven't seen it back many times, but it looks like Joe Bryan gets blocked off too easily, doesn't follow his man, and Perry Ng, free header, puts it into the roof of the net. Does go between Jensen's hands, but I think the ball was moving so quick that I don't think you can blame the keeper for that personally. I just think Joe Bryan has to do better. It's certainly his man. We then have the ball cleared off the line on 44, Romain Esse from a corner, cleared off the line, and we go in at half-time 1-0 down. And I felt, on the whole, we were unlucky to go in 1-0 down at half-time. I felt we were probably the better side. Had we done enough to take the lead? Possibly not, but we were certainly the better side in the first half. The second half, though, performance was dreadful. It was really, really, really poor. And they start off on 46 minutes. They come straight out at a big, big chance. I can't quite work out whether Jensen does really well here or he should do better with the initial save. But he ends up touching the ball 3 times before they blaze it wide. But Jensen does go on to make another really good save from, I think it was a corner that had come from a free kick where Denor brought down Mate, who was on at this point. I don't actually think it was a free kick, but Jensen, another good save. No, it was from a free kick. Sorry. It was the save that it was a good free kick, to be fair, and he had to move his body quickly and get across. I thought Jensen made a number of good saves, and I thought he performed, one of the other, I would say him and Esse, the only 2 players to come out with real credit. On 73 minutes, it should be 2. The ball, they break. I don't know where our defence is. And all they've got to do is play the ball. He overhits it slightly. Mate can't sort his footing out, and it would have been in for an open goal, and it should have been 2-0. For us, there was just no rhythm. It was so stop-start. We were giving away silly little free kicks. They were taking ages. And it just felt tonight that every single ricochet and every single bounce went for them. And look, you make your own luck. We had some luck on Saturday. I think our 3rd goal was offside. It is what it is, but it just wasn't our night. And the writing was on the wall from about 60, 65 minutes. I felt that we basically, all of our kind of good football we've been playing went out the window. We just started pumping it long, but pumping it long to no one, really. I don't think we really utilised Ivanovic when he came on. We didn't put Cooper up there. Langstaff didn't get in the game at all. And then, I think a couple of things towards the end really just summarised our night. So I've written down here on 88 minutes, Esse does superbly well. Just before that, Cooper had a tame effort header from a set piece on 84 minutes, but didn't really trouble the keeper. But on 88 minutes, Esse does really well, turns, finds Langstaff, a great ball through to him, and then Langstaff puts out for a throw. I mean, that was part 1 that summarised it. Then Leonard and Esse having a Barney, well, more Leonard having a go at Esse. Overall, I don't like that because it was too much from Leonard, to be honest. Sort it out later. I like the passion. I love the passion that they want to win and they want to, that to me, if they don't care, they don't do things like that. But I just felt it was a bit too much from Ryan Leonard, to be honest. I am literally recording this straight after the game, so I've not had a chance to digest it or anything like that. But for me, it felt like too much. I can't lip read, so I don't know what he was saying to him, but it did feel a bit excessive. And that was the second thing I think that summed up our night. And then, of course, we do get a chance in the very last minute of the game. Free kick, again, doesn't really come to much, but Ivanovic does really well to keep the ball in play, cuts it back across goal, and then Watmore tries to backheel it into the net. Keeper saves it and the ball's cleared and the final whistle blows. It was just poor tonight. Langstaff didn't get in the game. I don't think Ivanovic came on and did much, obviously, other than the point I just mentioned there. I don't think we really played to him. Even our long balls didn't really seem to find him that often. Aziz didn't really affect the game. It was just really poor. Really, really, really poor. As I said, it was a typical Millwall thing to do, to be so good on a Saturday and then be so poor the Tuesday after it. It was very, very frustrating. And we now face a very informed side in West Brom on Saturday that, will probably go there and win. I mean, look, here's hoping. But we definitely need to have a performance that corrects that, because that wasn't good enough tonight. Be interesting to see what Neil Harris comes out and says. As I said earlier, cue all the people saying that he's not good enough or whatever, which is easy to say after one game. I think what I will say is that's now 8 games. Is it 8 games? If we're still in the bottom 6 after 12 games, that's a different conversation. But up until tonight, all the league performances have warranted more points. Tonight, I think we got what we deserved. Cardiff, very, very, very poor side. The poorest side I've seen us play this season. And I thought Preston and Sheffield Wednesday were poor. What does that say about us? Because I've just said that Preston and Sheffield Wednesday were poor. We beat them, but everyone else we haven't managed to get a point out of. Sorry, we haven't managed to beat. Hull beat this team 4-1 on Saturday. Maybe that was the worst thing that could happen because it gave them a kick up the arse. I don't know. But we've been beaten by a poor side. We look leggy. I think it's one of those nights where we can't dwell on it. We just got to take it and move on and roll on to Saturday, because it felt like we were turning a corner. And then, of course, tonight comes along and ruins that theory. So it is what it is. I always say, don't get too high when you win, don't get too low when you lose. And I think tonight we just need to remember that. I'm looking forward to, as I'm recording this, scrolling through all of the Twitter comments, because I just can't wait to see it. But look, poor performance, really poor performance. Certainly the worst of the season, other than the Leyton Orient game. Expected a lot better. And I think, if I'm honest, it probably highlighted the lack of squad depth a little bit too tonight, particularly with how many players did we have out, right? So we had, I'm not going to count Aziz. He was on the bench, but there's no way he was fit. So let's count Wintle, Imaku, Mitchell, Bradshaw, Coburn. There's more. I know there's more. I know you're screaming at me. Scanlon, 6. There's more. I know there's more. Well, that's 6. I feel like I'm missing someone obvious. But we've got a lot of 6 players out. That's I can name off the top of my head, which is already, I mean, it's, yes, certainly highlights the lack of squad depth, particularly when you've got 6 players out. But it is what it is. Let's not let it ruin our week. And hopefully we move on to bigger and better things, and we pick up some points, or at least get a point. A good point it would be away at Sheffield Wednesday. What am I on about? You can tell I'm tired. Away at West Brom. But look, that's it. I don't think there's any more that I can say. Obviously, I've done this deliberately quick because A, it's late at night, I want to get something out. B, I'm away from work for work. And C, it was a piss poor performance that I don't think anyone really wants to listen to me ramble on any more than you have to. So as always, thank you very much for listening. If you haven't yet, please subscribe. As you can see, everything we do on this channel this season all goes to Cancer Research UK. Appreciate everyone. Thank you very much, and try to enjoy the rest of your week. Bye for now.